What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to Icy. My name is Splattercat, and I'm happy to have you here today. In the previous episode, there's a lot of storyline to cover in this game, so let's go back a little bit. We had started out in our own little village of nomads. We've been captured by raiders. We broke away from the raiders, and then we found a group of, another group of raiders, I guess, who were trying to capture this man after killing his daughter and trying to sell him into slavery. So in that situation, we managed to get him out, and now we have a new party member, so that's pretty cool. I haven't looked at his stats or anything like that, but I assume he's probably pretty good in a fight from the way, yeah, so he's good in a fight. I was going to say, he's a lot like our character, where I think he's really going to round out our ability to take a swing at somebody. During the fight, they said that he was really capable in melee, just like we are. And so, I think between him and me, my character's pretty good at melee too. We should be able to hold things down over the long term. So we've got a rifle right there. We've got ourselves a pistola. We got a crowbar. I wonder if you have to leave the crowbar in the overall inventory in order for it to work properly. Like, how does that function? Because, like, really, they said we didn't have a crowbar, but I totally have a crowbar right here. I don't know if I'm supposed to, like, leave that out of my inventory, though. Like, what if I put a knife in right there? It's not letting me do anything right now. It wants me to keep that crowbar. That crowbar is attached at the hip. Well, it looks like it stays right there. Oh, you have to put it back in the proper menu. So yeah, I'm thinking the crowbar has to be in this inventory for it to count, because in the last encounter we had gone into a little town and it said because we didn't have a crowbar, something bad happened. And I was wondering if it's because I equipped the crowbar and it searched inside this inventory to find it, and it found that we didn't have one, even though we technically were carrying it with us. I don't know, it just seemed like that's the way that it played out, so I figured I'd probably fix it. I may just put a knife in my hand. I mean, compared to the crowbar, it looks like it does the same amount of damage. No, the knife does 1.4. The Crowby does 1.5. So I think I'm just going to take the knife. It's a little bit easier to deal with. Durability of heavy clothes gives us 17 right there. I wish, actually, it'd be cool if you could equip everybody. But I think our character is the only one that we get to equip in combat. I think everybody else just grabs whatever weapon they are most suited for before they go out. I'm not really sure. It looks like I can heal people as well. When I went to my party menu, it's got like a little cure thing right here. So it looks like we might be able to go through and use some magical Healy loving on people to make them feel better. She's the only one with HP that's looking a little bit suspect, and she seems to be our best scavenger so far. The time that we took her into town to scavenge with us, she came through more than anybody else, and so I'm trying to keep an eye on her and make sure nothing bad happens to her. Mobolaji appears to be one of our combat characters, so that's good because, well, actually, people's stats are pretty good as far as combat goes. I wouldn't worry about it that much. How do we know? Oh, you just kind of like accumulate HP along the way, huh? Can I add these if I wanted to? It looks like we also get a bonus to melee from something. What's giving us a +2 to melee? What's causing that? Skill melee. Something's giving us a +2 right now, but I don't know what's giving us a +2. Weird. It might be a good idea. Actually, it says melee +3 now. Huh? I haven't clicked on it. Is it because I'm clicking on it? Is that what happened? So it looks like we should be able to upgrade for 6. I don't know what the +3 is coming from right there, but it said we had a +8 just a second ago. I have no idea what's causing these things to be handled in that way. It might be worth it to put a couple points into bow, just to make sure that we got things held down, but I think I'm going to go for scavenging right now. Our last few scavenging runs have not gone fantastically, and I'm thinking the ability to properly scavenge is going to be useful for us in the near future. I may put the extra 2 points into bow just so we have 2 skill in bow, just in case, because we fired an arrow at somebody. What it seems to me like is that bows do less damage, but they have infinite ammo, is what it seems like. It's kind of like your holdout weapon. So if we go into town right here, can we keep scavenging? You find a small town. It looks like we can. Let's scavenge for 6 hours. You find a little house with a sturdy closed door. We can blow up the door or we can leave. Blowing up the door seems like, can we kick the door in or anything? You can try to pick the lock. Let's use a crowbar. You pry the door open and are able to explore the building. Okay, so we found some binoculars. Oh, wow, okay, so I don't know if that's a +8 right there. We got 8 medical supplies, 3 gasoline, and 33 bullets. Whoa! Hell yeah. And then we got a Nokia. I think that's a joke about Nokia phones never dying and being destroyed. And then we've also got ourselves some binoculars. Let's take everything. I'm going to take a look at my inventory real fast to make sure that those were cycled in. Yeah, there it is right there. A small device. The device still seems functional despite all the years that have passed. I like that they've got that humor in the game where it's a Nokia phone, man. That was the phone that everybody I knew had back in like 2002. That was like the phone right there. Everybody had that thing. And you could just get a different colored faceplate for it to make yours stand out from everybody else's. Man, I resisted the cell phone thing for like the longest time. I tried so hard. I hate cell phones. They're the worst invention ever. I mean, it's nice because nobody has a landline anymore, but for realsies, like, I don't know. It's something that somebody can like constantly bother you on. I think wind farm is more than likely going to be that turbine right there. We may want to take some time and hunt. It looks like there's something right there. Yeah, food's falling off pretty quick. Let's go ahead and hunt. You're in a dark area of the forest where the vegetation blocks most of the sunlight. Let's scavenge. Let's do a 4-hour and just kind of see what happens. You see a small group of boars in the distance. This is a really, really dangerous hunt. There are a few things as dangerous as hunting a boar when you are not in the safety of the modern world. Boar hunting is one of those things that typically you did it with dogs and very, very long spears, because dogs would run down and the dogs would get injured instead of your hunters getting injured. So essentially you would send out maybe 15, 20 dogs, and in fact that's still how they hunt them when the government hunts boars, because they get too populated. Like in Hawaii, for example, they have a government agency who they're responsible for killing boars and checking their tusks and making sure that they're not overpopulated, and that's how they hunt them. They travel with like 5 to 10 dogs. They release the 10 dogs and they go get them, and the dogs run down the boars, and while the boars are fighting with the dogs are trained to basically nip at the boar's like hip right there so that it's constantly turning around, but it never injures any of the dogs if they're doing their job well anyways. And so typically this is a very, very dangerous thing. The reason being is there are very few things as hard to kill as a boar. Bullets bounce right off of their skull because they got a real thick skull. They berserk out. They get into like a weird tantrum rage where they'll just destroy everything in the area when they get injured. They are a nasty, nasty animal, and they don't typically run away. That's the other part, is they stand their ground, especially if they're in like their little family unit. They travel in little herds, and they're super fiercely loyal to family. That's why I used to see crests back in medieval times with the head of a boar on it. It meant that that family valued loyalty, family, you know, standing your ground in defense of people that are like you, stuff like that. But anyways, fighting a boar is a bad prospect. I don't know how I feel about this. So we've got some options here. Looks like that one's not lit up. We can leave. We've got lots of bullets, so I'm going to shoot them. You successfully kill the boars. You're moving in the bushes to take care of the lynx when one of them jumps out of nothing. Okay, apparently we've got like a magical lynx. I'm going to fire again. Pakow! Your aim is quick and you save your companion. Hell yeah! Plus 17 food, and we got 2 Furbies right there. Oh, right, Furby was the scariest toy ever. It used to wake up in the middle of the night randomly when it heard, like, random noises, because it was trained to wake up when you clapped or something like that. My sister had a Furby, and that goddamn thing would wake up all the time, and it was horrifying. Like, God, could you make a creepier toy? I don't want to go all the way over there. Had better find shelter before it strikes. Before what strikes? We have to hurry. We don't have much time. You start walking faster in the desperate search for a decent shelter, but you're far away from any building. I assume there's a blizzard coming. Snow starts to fall on the ground, and in just a few minutes it becomes thicker and thicker. Your visibility drops down, and you're barely able to spot what's a few yards from you. April? April, where are you? April's voice is weak and distant. You can barely understand what she says. I'm here. I'm coming. I just stumbled on a rock. Chief, I'm gonna go find her. I won't leave her alone in the storm. We can't split up. We're all going to find her. No, take the others to safety. Just light a big fire and we'll find you. Carlos starts running and disappears into the falling snow. You keep walking, hoping to find some place to stay, but your feet sink into the snow, and each step is harder than the one before. You feel the cold wind on your face, and the snow is completely covering you. If you don't find a shelter, you'll die soon. A sudden gust of wind throws you on the ground, and you hit your head on something metallic. A piercing pain flows down all your head, and your sight fades for some seconds. Stand up. Please stand up. Don't die here. Eva's tugging you, and you immediately recover your senses. After some seconds, you finally manage to stand up again, but you're unable to see anybody. The group is completely scattered, and you are alone with Eva. I'm glad you're okay. Did you see where the others were directed? No, I saw you falling to the ground and hitting something, so I came here to see if you were alright. Okay, let's go. We'll find a safe place. Please hold my hand. I don't want to get lost in the storm. Alright, give me your hand and let's go. Technically, they should have tied each other together. We have a rope, and when you travel in environments where there's zero visibility, you tie yourselves to each other. If you can, anyways. You take the rope and you put it around everybody's belt loop, or around everybody's waist if it's long enough. Or, I mean, honestly, at the minimum, you could just cuff everybody around the wrist one by one. They should have been walking hand in hand and rope anyways. It's not a good way to get things done in the snow. You keep walking when you finally find a guardrail, and there's a badly damaged fence near it. The fence is damaged. I'm going to follow the rail. Let's follow the guardrail, hoping to find shelter near the road. You follow the guardrail, and after a couple of minutes, you spot a gas pump. There's a building near it that could be a decent shelter. Let's go in. You finally found a shelter, and as soon as you enter, you feel better. The place is good protection from the storm. The place is warmer than the outside, but you need a fire to regain some heat since you can barely feel your arms and legs. Eva's shaking badly and barely able to speak. I am so cold. I'll start a fire. Body heat can help, but we gotta get... I honestly, we can't sit here for too long. I need to make a fire and get everybody regrouped. I'll just wait here. Just make it quick, please. You start a fire using the stuff that you found around. The place is full of crap that you can burn, and you easily manage to start a good fire. You and Eva gather around the small fire, craving for heat, while your entire body seems frozen to the bone. Some warmth finally starts to flow into your hand, and your muscles slowly stop trembling. You'll be able to survive. The time passes, and the storm finally ends, leaving behind itself a quite clear sky. You feel the external temperature rising. Now you need to find your companions. Eva's regained her skin color and seems to be a lot better now. She stands up and puts her backpack on. I'm ready to go. Let's go find the others. You start gathering your things while you see a smoke column raising towards the sky. At least someone has survived. It takes a while to reach the place, but you see a big pyre burning in front of an isolated house. You see Demetra throwing some wood onto that fire. I was waiting for you, glorious leader. I'm glad to see you alive. When we lost you in the storm, I feared the worst. And I'm glad to see you still walking on this frozen world as well. How are you? Nice to see you, Demetra. Is everything okay? I'm more than fine. I found this nice house, and it was full of furniture that I was able to turn into heat. You suddenly hear a distant scream, and as you focus on the sound, you clearly discern the word help. Did you hear that? You start running towards April's voice, and after a few seconds, you're able to see what's the problem. A building collapsed, and Carlos is trapped inside. Thank God you're here. Carlos went inside to do a quick check of the place, and the damn roof collapsed on his head. You can hear Carlos' voice coming from the rubble. Fuck, 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 fuck! Come on, let's get him out of there. Well, technically, when something falls on somebody, you should check and make sure that they're not pinned. Because what can happen is you can have an injury, but the weight of what's pinning it down could keep the blood flow away. And in that situation, you want to leave it there until you have the medical supplies available in order to fix the problem, because it's staunching the flow of blood. You remove that, you could be in big trouble. In addition, if they have like a neck or a back injury or anything like that, moving them can be really, really bad. But are you hurt? Am I hurt? A bloody roof fell on me. Of course I'm hurt. You hear some noise, and when you turn to find out where it's coming from, you see Mobolaji running towards you. What's happening here? Carlos is trapped below the rubble. The building looks old. It wasn't a smart idea to go into it right after a storm. The snow's weight broke the roof. Well, thank God we have your brilliant mind to point out the obvious. Screw you, Carlos. I'm not the one who ignored reason to walk into a deadly trap. You're lucky to be alive. Please, guys, don't fight. We have to save him. Alright, well, let's get to work. Does anybody have an idea how to get him out of it without risks? We need to be careful. We need to act with light hand and patient caution, or the entire building will collapse. We'll waste half a day just getting it out of it. Well, we're saving his life. It's not wasted time. I know, it's just annoying spending time saving him from his own recklessness. You spend some time digging Carlos out while Mobolaji keeps complaining, and April doesn't help the mood. After more than an hour, Carlos is finally free. Well, that's not half a day, though. I thought they were talking about like 12 hours. We're gonna be in here with a backhoe, just like boop, boop. Backhoeing, it does not have as big of a market as you would think. Some people really attracted to backs, but actually, you can mostly get that for free on the internet, so I don't know. Oh my God, are you okay? Carlos limps to reach a rock and sits on it, holding his right leg with his hand. Yeah, I'm fine, guys. What's with your leg? Is it broken? I hope not. It just hurts, but I think it'll pass. Why in the fuck did you go into the house? It was clearly dangerous. I mean, shit, look at that wood. It's completely rotted. Shut up. We've been through worse places. It's just unlucky, that's all. Unlucky? You were an idiot. We were scattered around and you decided to enter in there? It's just stupid. Go to hell. Do you think to be some sort of wise man? Alright, well guys, stay calm. We can't fight amongst ourselves. Calm down, we need to rely on our brains to stay alive, not throw ourselves into danger like he did. It's easy to judge that in hindsight, isn't it? I'm pretty sure you have a lot of mistakes on your conscience. Mobolaji is about to answer when he closes his eyes and slowly breathes. After a couple seconds, he opens his eyes again and walks away. Was that necessary? What? He did everything by himself. He just saved you. I told you not to enter, but sometimes you're just so stubborn. You could have stayed silent or just said thank you. He insulted me. He helped dig you out of there, and you only reminded him of his dead family with your careless words. She's right. I can't see any other reason behind this behavior. That was a little bit over-aggressive. His kid just died, and he did just help save you. Whatever. What should I have done? Just listen to his insults with a smile on my face? Anything's better than starting a fight in our condition. Let's go back to our belongings. Your group starts packing up, and in a few minutes you're ready to go. There's some tension in the air, but nobody's arguing anymore. Well, that's a plus side. I'm trying to keep Discord like as low as possible in the group, but it seems like we have a lot of bullish personalities here, and we're gonna have to figure out a way. I mean, I think I agree with Mobilogy right there. He helped him. We all helped get him out of there. He made a mistake, and the key, as an adult, as I get older, I find that the key skill you have to learn as an adult is to realize when you're wrong, admit it, and apologize, and just be like, my bad, and accept it. Like, people really kind of respond to that. I'm not saying you take responsibility for shit that isn't your fault, but in situations like that where it's clearly your fault, it's usually best to just fess up and be like, well, you know, I apologize, everybody. It looks like now that we're in town, we can go to varying locations. We go to the local inn, there's the local leader, and then we have the marketplace. We were looking for a weapon trader, so I think he's going to be in the marketplace. You search the market area. There are different booths and shops around, and this is the only place in the entire settlement that seems alive. The weapons trader's who we needed. Let's ask for some information about the wind tower from a local. You try to stop a local citizen to ask some questions, but everyone seems so busy and offers you no help. After some useless attempts, you hear a voice coming from a secondary alley. You see a man who wants to talk to you. Hey, you! If you have some questions, come here. I'll give you the answers you need. He looks like a grifter. I think we're about to get ripped off. He's got a pin on his head that's got a pear. So instead of like apple or like Mac, it's got a pear on it with a bite out of it. Let's ask about the tower. What can you tell me about it? A wonderful legacy of the old world. It's a miracle this thing can still produce electricity, and you can easily see that if you look at all the other broken wind farms around here. It's not currently working at its maximum capacity, but that doesn't matter. The settlement is small and it doesn't need much power. Who's in charge? Maximilian is our leader. He's a decent person and he's able to keep everybody together. He's not the best choice, but he's not the worst either. What about the settlement? The people here worship the tower like a sacred artifact, and that's quite strange for somebody like me. Apart from that, people are decent folks, and I have a good and relaxing job. There's a cult? How did they create it? There are different legends around. That's why I think that this place was founded a really long time ago. I think somebody had discovered this field full of wind towers and just repaired this one. That there may have only happened, or that it may have only happened a long time ago when information was better, or that it may have happened, okay, whatever. You get the idea. It happened a long time ago when information was better. There we go. There's a cult? Precisely, but it's nothing complex. They believe the tower is a gift from God, a blessing. The result is that they celebrate mass gathering around the tower foundation. Or they celebrate mass gathering around the tower foundation. I didn't notice the capital in there. It's talking about mass like, you know, in nomine patri et filii et spiritus sancti and all that fun stuff. Anyways, we've got, are there bandits? You see some armed guys around here? They had guns and horses. A group of well-equipped people came by here to buy supplies a few days ago. I don't know much about them, but you can ask the weapons trader. You bartered with them. Okay. Who are you? I'm Benedict, only guy who can keep the tower running. I don't have much work, unlike the others, but they desperately need me, so nobody complains too much. I have an uncle with a job like that. My uncle's the only guy that knows how to fix this specific, like, alternator type thing for a type. It's a big ol'... It's a piece of construction machinery that, like, every construction firm uses, but it's like a super niche piece of machinery, and he's like one of the only guys on the West Coast that knows how to fix like a specific portion of like the alternator assembly or something like that. I don't know. And so basically he works like 1 day a week and they pay him like he works full time, and he just like has lived an entire life of leisure, just like doing whatever the hell he wants. It's like the cushiest deal I've ever heard of in my entire life. Just like, that's fantastic. Like, how did you fall into this? And who taught you how to fix it if nobody knows how to fix it? Alright, well, I think that'll be it. Come again if you want to chat. It's always nice to have a good chat. Let's go ahead and we'll talk to the tools trader and see what he's got. On top of the house, there's a quiet sign on a quiet... There's a quiet sign or a quiet sign? On top of the house, there's a quiet sign on which the words, Shitty Tools is written. A boy in his 20s greets you. Welcome, travelers. I will satisfy all of your desires. I don't need any shitty tools right now. I mean, if you already used them to clean the litter box or whatever, I don't want them. At least take them down to the river and rinse them off or something first. What do you sell here? Is that unclear? I sell tools of any kind. I even bought a sign from a stranger who knew how to read and write. Oh, it's supposed to be... Okay. Never mind. Let's ask about the wares. Wait, I wanted to buy stuff. There we go. So how do we know how much cash we have? Oh, you have to pay with ammo? Oh... Okay, so if you have to pay with ammo, that's a little bit more... They're sort of invoking that whole Metro vibe right there. Alright. Well, there's not really anything I want to get rid of right there. I think I could probably get rid of the Nokia phone and maybe what was once used to violate people's privacy. I might hold on to that. It looks like it has a lot of value. Should I sell the furs? It looks like you can actually make a little bit of cash from that right there. And then we've got a frying pan. I don't know if I should keep that or sell it. Do we have like a village cook? Do we have anybody that's like taking care of it for us? And it also looks like we can cycle in if we needed to sell off some of our random wares. We can sell fuel. We can sell our food and everything else that we have on us too. But we can't sell ammo. That's the only thing. So I think I would rather have, like, what do you have on you? You got a bunch of bear traps. What are those right there? A mechanical trap which can stop even a bear. Okay, you've got a claw hammer right there. It looks like we've got torches. We got some more clothing just in case you needed to survive the cold. Probably not a bad plan, but let's just take the cash for right now. Do I still have something? It looks like actually once it highlights, it stays in your inventory. Okay. So basically what they need to do is they need to make it so it mouses over so that you can see what it is. Because when you click stuff, it locks it in for you to purchase it. And if you weren't paying attention when you finalize that, I think it'll get you in trouble. So what did I click that was worth 2? Oh, that broke-ass hammer. All right. I'm just going to take the cash. I'm sorry, the random bullets. We got 130 bullets right now. And I think I'd rather take these off to another location and see what I could turn them into. Go to the local leader. Let's go ahead and we'll talk to the weapons trader. You enter in a particularly well-built brick house. Inside you see an old man surrounded by innumerable weapons placed on tables and shelves all around the store. He raises his eyes and greets Jerome. How are you, old man? Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. I'm happy to see you. What brings you out here? I thought you decided to leave the Vale some time ago. Well, we had a little problem, and that's why we're here. I think you can help us with this one. Sure, feel free to ask anything you need. Except for weapons, you gotta pay for those. Don't worry, you greedy bastard. We just need information. Several days ago, we were attacked by some bandits. They captured us and brought us with them. Suddenly, some well-equipped fuckers came out of nowhere. I can assure you that I've never seen people with such nice equipment. They look just like super soldiers. They had high-tech stuff, rare weapons, combat uniforms, things like that. They weren't just some random bandits. We suspect they were a mercenary group. Mercenaries, you say? Well, it's hard to see mercenaries around here, but I may know the man who could lead you to them. His name is Fang. He's quite a loner. We've become kind of friends, and he always pays me a visit when he's here at the Wind Tower. I warn you, though. Those mercenaries sound dangerous, and chasing them doesn't look like the best idea to me. Anyways, if you can find Fang south of here, he lives alone in a hut. Let me show it to you on your map. Well, at least we have a track to follow now. Thank you very much, Robert. Not a problem. Now, is there something else I can do for you? Let's buy some weapons and see what's going on here. So we don't have a whole lot of... What does he got right there? That's like a Beretta? What is that? Looks like it might be useful. Looks like he got himself a 45 revolver or like a Colt Anaconda or something like that. Big old snaky gun. Kind of expensive. But I figure... Oh, we have 103. Never mind. I was pointing at the... I don't know why I did that. I have $103 right now. So basically 103 bullets anyways. He's got a couple of bombs and some other random stuff. Why do these have a 1 on them, but there's nothing inside the slot? Must just be like a sorting error or something. Alright. Well, I don't really see... I mean, we could go for some more guns or whatever. It looks like what is that going to cost me right there? Why is nothing costing? Hold on. Was that a bug right there? Let me check it again. I don't want... If you can actually get free guns and stuff, I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to do it that way. So it looks like we could get ourselves... It looks like also... His inventory rotates maybe every time you come in or something? Because I was going to buy a gun that was in decent shape. Yeah, it's because... Huh. Try it with something cheap real fast to see if it is bugged or if they still charge you. Although the deal button doesn't show up either. Interesting. Maybe it's because I can't afford it in the first place. It's like too expensive or something. Doesn't look like it though. I don't know if the smoke bombs are going to be useful. Not sure what's going on with that though right now. Looks like his stuff's not actually like counting. Weird. It counts when you first touch it though, so I don't know. Either way, let's stop fiddling with it. I'm going to go to the inn. But I think this is probably a good spot to break off the episode. My name is Splattercat. How are you liking this playthrough of Icy so far? This game is surprising me. I like what it has going on. It's basically like a text-based Neo Scavenger with a real-time menu that's a little bit like Battle Brothers or whatever. I like what they've got going on with it. I very much like sort of free roam, play at your own pace games like Neo Scavenger you know, Battle Brothers, all those sorts of games, Mountain Blade, where you kind of just wander around a world map and do whatever you want. But this game has the benefit of actually having a decent narrative. It's a little bit poorly translated, but at the same time, aside from that, I've enjoyed all the encounters we've had so far. It's kept me like stuck to my seat. I was only planning on recording like 1 episode or 2 episodes today, but I find myself wanting to play it more and more. So anyways, we'll keep looking at it. I'll see you on the next episode. Hi, do everybody.